2025 is shaping up to be a blood-soaked blessing for horror fans. We're talking haunted hotels, AI dolls with trust issues, home invasions, demonic clowns, and the return of one very, very fast virus. Whether you're into found footage terror, cult classics reborn, or sequels that actually deserve to exist, this year's horror lineup is stacked. So turn off the lights, silence your phone, and whatever you do, don't open the door. These are 5 upcoming horror movies you need to watch out for in 2025. First up, coming this September, The Conjuring, Last Rites. The title alone feels like a funeral, not just for the Warrens' journey, but for a horror era that's defined a generation. 12 years ago, The Conjuring rewired our nerves. A flickering light, a whispered name, and that unbearable silence right before the scream. James Wan turned atmosphere into art. Now, with Last Rites, it all comes full circle. Fans are already spotting lore callbacks. In the trailer, we see a locket dropped into a sink, the very same one Bathsheba once used to haunt Judy, connecting to the demon Malthus. That small detail confirms what many feared and hoped for. Annabelle is back, and so is the full weight of the Conjuring universe mythology. Love it or critique it, one thing's for sure. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson's chemistry is untouchable. Their performances as the Warrens have carried the emotional core of this universe, and fans are calling it a modern classic in the making. One commenter summed it up best. So many horror films rely on cheap jump scares. The Conjuring brought back storytelling, soul, and cinema to the genre. Another wrote, "Getting serious Conjuring 1 vibes. What a journey it's been. Just one more ride left." Jump scares are nothing without emotional depth and storytelling, and Conjuring gets that one perfectly right. It's poetic. Last Rites is both a blessing and a goodbye. And if this is the final chapter, it deserves to be watched in theaters. Lights off, sound cranked, heart pounding. Coming in 2025 with a titanium wig and a vengeance, M3GAN 2.0. That's right. Our favorite artificially intelligent bestie is back. And if the first movie taught us anything, it's this. Never give Wi-Fi to a doll with abandonment issues. Now, Megan may have started as a meme, but let's be real. She ended up being one of the smartest horror films of 2023. A perfect storm of social commentary, dance sequences, and cold-blooded stares. It blended tech paranoia with camp horror, and fans ate it up. Megan 2.0 promises to upgrade the mayhem, literally. From what we know so far, the sequel will explore how Megan survived, because of course she did, and what happens when her code, and her consciousness, evolve beyond her creators. Think Chucky meets Ex Machina, but with better fashion and sharper Wi-Fi reception. Fans are buzzing with theories. Is Megan going global? Is she building her own network of AI assistants? Or is this just a really elaborate plan to become the new CEO of OpenAI? Whatever it is, the sequel is said to go darker, bolder, and more emotionally twisted than the first, while keeping the same biting sense of humor. And if you're wondering whether the dance moves are coming back, let's just say, this time, she's bringing back up. Because the real horror isn't ghosts or demons. It's letting your kid bond emotionally with a Bluetooth-enabled sociopath. Third on our list, The Strangers, Chapter 2. And this time, it looks like the franchise might finally be getting back to what made the original so unsettling. Let's rewind a bit. In 2008, The Strangers gave us one of the most chilling home invasion films ever made. It was slow, silent, and terrifying. Not because of gore, but because of that unrelenting stillness. Liv Tyler. That open door, and that haunting line. Because you were home. Fast forward to Chapter 1 of the reboot trilogy, and fans were underwhelmed. While it had the budget and style, it just didn't hit the same. It felt more polished, more generic, missing the dread that made the original a cult classic. But then came The Strangers. Chapter 2. And suddenly, horror fans are paying attention again. The trailer is everything Chapter 1 should have been. Darker, more intimate, and laced with that classic hopeless isolation. The tone is grim, the pacing slower, and the tension deliciously claustrophobic. This time, it's not about fast kills or flashy scares. It's back to psychological terror. Fans are already calling it a course correction. One comment summed it up. This is what I wanted from the reboot. Quiet, cruel, and real. If Chapter 1 felt like a typical run-of-the-mill slasher movie, Chapter 2 feels like a horrifying night, and that's a huge step in the right direction. But look, at this point, we've had what? 4 films in the Stranger's universe? And not once has anyone just cracked the door, looked dead at the masked killer and gone. Yeah, I'm Tamara. What's up? Come on. Give us that moment. We've earned it. Next up, Hellhouse LLC. Lineage, and if you've never heard of this one, horror fam, you're missing out on what fans are calling the best found footage franchise ever. This isn't your average shaky cam spookfest. Since the first Hellhouse LLC dropped in 2015, the series has built a cult following for its slow burn terror, grounded realism, and an atmosphere so tense it feels like a documentary gone wrong. Set in the fictional Abaddon Hotel, which is, fun fact, based on the real-life Waldorf estate of fear in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. These films mix possession, cult horror, and documentary-style unraveling into something genuinely terrifying. One fan even wrote, "It's great walking through the haunt after seeing the movies. Imagine watching the movie and then stepping into the actual cursed hotel." And now, with Lineage, the nightmare continues. The big creepy clown, yep, you know the one, is back and becoming nothing short of iconic. Fans are calling this franchise a rarity. All of the movies have been great. That's high praise in a genre full of disappointing sequels. Interestingly, many fans are standing by Hellhouse LLC 2, The Abaddon Hotel, as their personal favorite, despite it being the most polarizing. But that's the thing. This franchise inspires loyalty, the kind only true horror fans understand. Hellhouse LLC. Lineage promises to dig even deeper into the origin of the hotel's demonic power, offering both prequel and sequel vibes in a found footage format that hasn't lost its grip. If you're a fan of Paranormal Activity, Lake Mungo, or Grave Encounters, this one's a must-watch. Underrated? Definitely. Unforgettable? Absolutely. And in 2025, Hellhouse LLC isn't just back, it's about to take the cult crown. And finally, we end with a film that doesn't just bring back zombies, it brings back respect. 28 years later, Danny Boyle returns to the franchise that redefined modern horror, and he's not coming quietly. Back in 2002, 28 days later, changed everything. It wasn't just a zombie movie. It was a nightmare, soaked in adrenaline, hopelessness, and that eerie, deserted London stillness that hit harder than any bite. The rage virus wasn't slow or rotting. It sprinted at you. And so did the existential dread. 28 weeks later was solid, but it lacked the raw, indie chaos of the first. Now, 2 decades later, 28 years later is coming. And it's bringing back the original power duo, Danny Boyle and writer Alex Garland. We don't know much yet, and that's the best part. No over-explaining, no early marketing overload. Just a whisper of rage, a title that carries legacy, and a promise. The infection never really died. One fan comments, "Finally, after some years, someone understood that trailers have its own art. You hire artist to make your trailer. This is how you make a proper trailer. Gives you the feeling of the movie without spoiling it and making you intrigued to what's it about." I particularly enjoyed arguments over whether the mutated strain of rabies makes the infected zombies or not, since in all other iterations, Train to Busan, World War Z, and others, it involves reanimation after death. So whatever classification they come under, zombies or not zombies, they're worse than other movie and series zombie worlds. Online, fans are already calling this the apocalypse sequel we didn't dare to hope for. Some are begging for Cillian Murphy to return. Others just want that haunting piano score, an empty road, and a world on fire. Again. Because 28 days later didn't scare us with monsters. It scared us with what we become when everything collapses. So yes, 28 years later is coming. And if the virus doesn't kill us, the hype just might. That's your horror roadmap for 2025. Sequels, reboots, and originals that might just keep you up at night. Let me know which one you're most excited for in the comments, or which one you refuse to watch alone. And hey, if you're still hearing footsteps when this video ends, don't worry. It's probably just M3GAN updating your software. Subscribe for more horror deep dives, lore breakdowns, and nightmare fuel. You bring the popcorn. I'll bring the panic.